Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about Paramount is going to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. People, we are finally here and it is fantastic. Now, I want to say, I always believed Paramount was going to get Warner Brothers Discovery because mainly, I understand the politics are going to come into this and it's annoying that the politics are going to come into this, but the international regulators were never going to allow Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers for so many reasons, as Netflix has already been dealing with antitrust issues in other countries that have real antitrust laws. Okay. As well as in America, the Hollywood unions, the Writers Guild, the Actors Guild, and the Directors Guild were all against the actual working members of the guilds were against this deal because at the point of Netflix becoming so big that if you cross them, they could basically blacklist you because of their size. And this is what people were not understanding about it. Because here's the difference of how it works right now at Paramount or Warner Brothers Discovery, right? Because Netflix has shows made by Warner Brothers right now, okay? Warner Brothers has shows made by Paramount, by Fox, by Disney. Do you understand that? That's the way all the other non-Netflix networks work, right? There is no show that is made at Netflix, like the studio-wise, and then is, like, airing on another network, because Netflix does not operate the way the traditional networks do. Obviously, Apple doesn't do this as well, but Apple isn't buying things. Apple makes very niche shows that really don't have a purpose in terms of the larger thing, as well as but Amazon does buy shows, right? Like, just so we're understanding, Amazon and Apple buy shows. Like, Ted Lasso is a Warner Brothers show, if I'm correct. The Boys was originally supposed to be a Paramount production, and this is, like, before Paramount was, like, it was, like, CBS or Viacom. It was something like that. Just so we understand, Netflix does not sell their shows to other networks. So this on the terms of the scale of this, would have been bad if it went through. But look at this. Netflix now gets a $3 billion money for doing nothing, which they can use on their own shows, right? And also the Netflix stock has been tanking since the acquisition thing because it just didn't make sense. Now, I understand the politics of it. People are very mad. CNN is going to be taken over by Barry Weiss. Now, I like Barry Weiss. I like the free press. Okay. And I think the issue with all the news networks, by the way, is that they across the board, with the exception of Caitlin Collins, I think the issue is that we know exactly who everybody voted for on any of these networks, and that already has led to a bias or a distrust, okay? Because during the Biden years, like, for God's sakes, none of them could admit Joe Biden looked like he was about to die, right? And on Fox News, no one can admit that Donald Trump looks like he has dementia now. Do you understand this is the issue? Like, the only person I think people truly trust across the board, people trust Caitlin Collins, right? People trust Harry Enton, people trust Steve Kornacki, right? Those are the 3 that people truly trust, and Kornacki and Enton are more like analytic of, analyzing numbers. They're like, "These numbers mean this is the trend." So people respect them because they're just straight up data-driven guys, and Caitlin is always like, "Is she a cons she 'cause she's from Alabama, but she lives in New York, but Trump constantly insults her, but who really knows? Like, did she vote for Zoran? Did she vote for" like, do you understand this? And I think that's good not knowing the politics of everybody, but, like, look, at almost everyone at fucking MSNBC, we all know, like, they fucking all worked in, like, the Obama or the Biden White House. You understand the problem? And in Fox News, Trump's cabinet is all from Fox News. This is the issue. And this is not good. I kinda like what's happening at CB first of all, I do not think the 60 Minutes thing sucks, that 60 Minutes is gonna get folded into CBS. Because for those who don't know, CBS on the 57th Street office. Across the street on, like, by the Escalade Cadillac store is where, like, 60 Minutes was and was only 10 people. From what I understand, those people are now gonna work in CBS. But now when the Paramount Warner merger goes through, because that studio is so janky, that 57th Street studio. It is a fucking piece of shit, okay? Ironically, though, Oliver tapes there. Oliver is an HBO show. I assume everyone who's important this is similar when the Discovery, Warner merger happened. anyone who is imported is going to be moved to the Hudson Yards office, and the Hudson Yards office is where CNN is where the HBO offices are, is where the HBO Max offices are. I believe the Bleacher Report office is moved from 19th Street, which was the same block where Netflix is, which was the Discovery office, into Hudson Yards. I haven't been in the Hudson Yards building in, like, forever because, like, I am currently working on a Paramount production, so this isn't even within that. I've met David Ellison once at because I did a movie in the summer, and it was a Netflix Paramount financier. I believe it was originally supposed to be Paramount, got sold to Netflix, and Paramount was like a half, um financier on it, and, like, it was right after the Ellison purchases went through. He, like, came to upstate to meet everyone. Very nice guy, okay? I don't care about the pol Trump is not going to be president forever, and look, the FCC shit, look, it sucks, but the FCC only matters for 4 networks, and everything is on a streaming service now, and everyone has their own talk show, and all the talk shows are not going to exist in 4 years after the 2018 election. This is, like, a larger thing that everyone already knew, like, Seth is gonna take over SNL. Fallon probably stays. Kimmel will end his show whenever Trump is finally gone. Like Colbert, I understand he doesn't want to do a podcast or whatever, but like Colbert could easily pop up, and now people are going to say, "Well, what about Stewart?" Stewart is already on a Paramount production. You do realize Comedy Central is Paramount. Oliver, Bill Maher, and everybody, they're going to still be able to do whatever we want because Casey Bloys and Allison, you know what they really truly care about? Awards, okay? And Oliver, Maher, Stewart, they all bring awards, okay? No one really cares. We're halfway through Trump 2.0. He will be gone, okay? And as long as the Democrats do not put up a fucking woman, they should win. And there's no way you can fucking like this nonsense. Oh, we're gonna disintegrate the merger. First of all, I don't know if you understand what happens is that immediately when these mergers happen, half the people are gonna get fired because there's gonna be no need for 2 types of PR, 2 types of FYC. It doesn't work that way, and anyone who's like, these people not in Hollywood don't seem to understand that. As well as no one believed in Netflix's, "We're gonna still keep the movies in theaters," and all this other shit. No one believed that because Netflix's whole thing is, "We're the industry now, okay? We came in and we took it over." Okay? That's on that part. His idea, there are some nonsense on the Elsa thing. He says he's gonna be able to make 30 movies a year. I do not think that is possible, even in the best of cases, whether they're good movies or bad movies or award movies, at best. Because I think Warner last year did 14 movies, Paramount did 9, and I'm not counting, like, SpongeBob and Sonic and all that shit. I'm talking about, like, people people movies. It's hard to make movies, okay? It's very fucking hard. I think you could get there 20, but from what I know, and because I did is Casey Bloys and HBO will be operating individually. Like, they will be a silo thing as they've always been and be able to do whatever the fuck they want, okay? Simple as that. Like, that seems to be the thing, like, let HBO be HBO. Um, yeah, Barry Weiss will take over CNN, and honestly, CNN needs a good fucking cleaning house. I don't care what you do to CNN. Except keep Caitlin Collins, keep Harry Anton, everyone else, fuck them, okay? They don't fucking matter. Everyone's still mad about this, blah, 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 that, "Oh, CNN's gonna turn center right," or whatever bullshit. It's not you go back 6 years ago and when people were getting thrown off because they didn't wanna get vaccinated or wear a mask or whatever, it's just the inverse and all and other nonsense. I'm glad. And also, just so we're clear, had the Netflix deal happened, right, the cable network CNN and all that would have been spliced off, and similar to what is happening at the MSNBC splice off, they're gonna not exist in 4 years because these cable companies cannot thrive without, something that's actually making money to elevate their business. I mean, they all got kicked out of 30 Rock. This is what people forgot. I think, like, the MSNBC losers are all in, like, the fucking New York Times, building, like, by Port Authority, which is disgusting. Okay, so CNN doesn't have to get kicked out of Hudson Yards because let me tell you, you know what was gonna get kicked out of Hudson Yards had the Netflix merger gone through? CNN and all that, because they're not gonna get rid of fucking HBO and HBO Max from the fucking designer 80 the on floor 27 and floor 28. This is good. Okay? We out here, baby. We out here. Stay mad. Movies will still be in theaters. It is what it is. Oh, for those who don't know what the deal is, let's go through the key parts of that deal. Netflix declined to raise the bid. They're allowing Paramount to get it. Um, So it's $31 a share. Paramount's agreed to pay the $3 billion breakup fee. Netflix stocks has now jumped up since the what's it called? Since the backing out of the deal, which is great. And here's the statement, like, Netflix is a great company, blah, 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 blah. And I just, it is what it is. And let's go. I don't, by the way, David Ellis is not going to fire James Gunn. Okay. So fucking shut up about this, people.